Yeah, so Mr. Tapa,
yeah, just hold on. Just hold on. I didn't go live. So just hold on. I want to introduce myself. Yeah. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, fellow Ambazonians, fellow fighters, fellow brothers and sisters. Today is a very special edition. Yeah, just hold on, bro. 1 second. Let me mute this. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying to test the sound quality. Good morning, fellow brothers and sisters. Of course, today is a very rich, impactful edition of the program. I will be joined live by the biggest wing of the ASC. You know, the ASC is the formidable arm of the interim government, the military wing. So I'll be joined live. The audio quality would be very clear. You would hear everything about this strategic partnership. We have four big news to announce to you today. It is very big, gargantuan, if I want to put it that way, because we've taken the revolution to another high-level standard. We believe we have to respect the codes of conduct. We have to respect the Geneva Convention. So if you're just joining in, we've just started not up to 2 seconds ago. I am introducing myself. I'm the head of I'm the spokesperson of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, and we've been recognized at 2 international levels. I would address that immediately after I have this interview from the military wing of the ASC. I'll be joined live by Bell, who heads the ASC military wing, SWOT of Ambazonia, and he will speak with me. I would interview him to give us the code of conduct, exactly how we have to operate in this particular contemporary age and time. Let me connect with him once more. I hope the audio quality is clear. Yeah, hello, Bell. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know where you are, but a salute.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Tapa.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate this strategic partnership between the ASC, the former ASC or whatever, and the Ambazonia Defense Forces. I believe we have only one enemy, La République du Cameroon. I would start by saying you have done a tremendous job. I believe and I know where you are, and it is a high security risk for you to lead and for you to have led this biggest delegation or the biggest military arm of the ASC. I want to start by congratulating you for this wonderful job you've done for the past 1 year or 2 years, for you having thousands or hundreds of soldiers on the ground and funding them. And there is some noise coming from your background. I want to thank you for having this courage to stand by the people of Ambazonia and for taking this particular objective, this particular stance of joining the Ambazonia Defense Forces. And I promise you, we have to work as brothers and sisters as we've done in the past. We've been communicating in the past, but right now our communications shall intensify. Let me give you the opportunity to have a word or two or address the people who are listening to you right now.
Yeah, Mr. Ivo, it is a great opportunity for me to reach you out. And actually, it has been of great concern for me to reach to the people, because most of the times, a lot of Ambazonians, they are operating on a very blank face. They don't know what is happening, who is doing what, and where is this person doing the shit. Sometimes, because some individuals want to cover up the mistake and some things that they do, they decided to keep things behind the globes. And because we want to protect a particular issue, we decided not to air out some of the things. But I think that in the days ahead, I will not only come out with evidence and proof, but I will come out with a lot of things that will make Ambazonians to know what has been happening, who is doing what, and how do we get to this place, and how we are, and where we have been, and what we have been doing all this while. For now, I'm going to put a lot of things in pregnant form, but I want to tell Ambazonians listening through your voice that a lot of things will be spilled out in the days ahead. Everything is in the bracket form.
All right.
Everything is in the bracket form, and I promise you that I will do my possible best to to expose a lot of things. Thank you.
Yeah, but we were discussing earlier today, we spoke about the code of conduct on the ground, but before that you said you've earlier tried to reach out to Dr. Cho Ayaba Lucas, who is the commander-in-chief, the CIC, or the leader of the Ambazonia Revolution. You said you tried reaching out to him earlier. Can you explain why it did not work and why you joined the ASC?
Yeah, something I want people to understand is that when the IG came into self-defense about 1 year ago, that should be around January 2018, that they launched the first ever launching, that was DOD. You know, at this time, people like Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga had first self-defense.
Right.
Somebody like me, I got my education from Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga.
Perfect.
I called him Daddy. He was one of the Amazonian persons that believe on self-defense with utmost authenticity and preach and said, if we are really sure of what we want, it is not about wearing fancy suits, good shoes, and goes into maybe the embassy here and be crying like crybaby.
Yes.
The Cameroon will speak, UN will come in, AU will come in, and any other person will come in when they started hearing the sound of AK-47. These were Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga's words. And I believe this man at that time. I believe him. He was saying the truth. That was in 2016. He was merely saying the truth. So I look at this situation and I try to reach into them, call some individuals, tell them, I said, why can't we look at this other medium? This man is saying the truth. Though some of us might look at him as a madman, but what he's saying is nothing but the truth. So nobody listened to me. Because you're making me now to think about those people that we met. Some of them have gone before me. They paid the price.
So have you tried reaching out to Dr. Ayaba Cho Lucas, and he turned?
Yeah, I'm coming. How I got to Dr. Ayaba. Okay. So when I reached, I tried to galvanize people for us to look at the aspect of self-defense. We all embrace self-defense at this time, and we're moving ahead. But now, day in, day out, people begins to join. The load was so heavy, and the income was so small. Then I had to look for people that we can. I met Dr. Cho Ayaba Lucas at this time. That should be about 8 months ago.
Wow.
I said, Doctor, there is something I want to talk to you. I want us to cooperate, to work, to kick away the enemy. He said, young man, I don't know your areas of operation. Where are you? Where do you belong? I gave him the contacts. He said he will get back to me. For about a month's time, he went behind and do some consultation, sent his boys on the ground. Those boys went and met those fighters on the ground, and those fighters told them that we are directly affiliated under Bear. He is the one that have the final say. So he came and met me and said, yeah, now I believe you. I have made contact, I've made consultations, and everybody on GZ called your name. So now we can work. But note, he told me, note, I'm going to say according to his words. Dr. Cho Ayaba told me that, note, we must respect the Geneva Convention. This were his words, he told me. And said, in order for us to do this, we're going to have an MOU. But before we move into an MOU, we need to have a meeting for us to talk about it. I said, oh, doctor, that's the problem. He said, let me arrange a meeting, him and me first. Then second, we have to arrange a meeting with the military cabinet and his own military cabinet so that we can come to an understanding. Okay, we had a meeting. The MOU is with me as I speak with you.
Okay.
He sent the MOU for us to study it. We studied the MOU. I had to talk with the boys on GZ. You can remember there was a time late General Ivo, oh, may his soul rest in perfect peace, a great hero, the father of Ambazonia. Late General Ivo used to have a meeting with General Divine. You can remember, they had series of meetings. I cannot even name them.
Right.
He also had a meeting with General Spirito. He also had a meeting with Godi, General Godi. and General Jue of Nguti.
Right.
Going to Konyet subdivision. Ivo has been having meeting also with General Daniel, the late Daniel of blessed memory. He had series of meetings with these people. And Ivo called me and said, boss, I have had this closed door meeting. I want to appreciate you that I have seen what you're doing. You are really a man. Keep up. I told him that, don't worry, not everything. I'm not a man that believes on social media. If you see me for the past years today, I've never appeared on social media. It's not because I don't think social media exists, but I think the most things should be done on the ground. Right. So time with time, Ivor used to call me. So later on, when we want to go into this negotiation, Mr. Dr. Cho Ayaba Lucas went on the thin air. I couldn't get to him. Then there was a time I get to him on the phone. I said, don't you think that we can have a collaboration with Dr. Akwanga? He said, oh, that's good. It's a good idea. This is what he wants. But the relationship with him, he was very frank. And that's the spirit of a leader. He told me in his word that the relationship with him and Dr. Akwanga of recent are not the best. And I told him that I'm a baby among you people. I will make sure that this relationship come together. I went and met Dr. Akwanga, and at this time also, Dr. Akwanga also want a collaboration with us. So I told Dr. Akwanga that we should forget about our differences and look at the common enemy. You have to let go the differences you have with Dr. Ayaba and come together. Dr. Akwanga, these were his words. He said, him and the wife have vowed that they will not have anything to do with Dr. Cho Ayaba, because initially he took Dr. Cho Ayaba like his own son. But of recent things didn't work out goodly. So I talked to Dr. Cho Ayaba. Dr. Akwanga said, my son, you have spared my heart. Tell Dr. Cho Ayaba to call me. Yeah, of course, Dr. Cho Ayaba called him. We come to a consensus, we come to an agreement. We all accepted to forgive one another and work towards this collaboration. But do you know what happened why the collaboration didn't take place? No. I'm going to tell you. And what I'm telling you, Dr. Ayaba, Dr. Akwanga, they will tell you the truth. What happened that this collaboration didn't take place at this time was one. When Dr. Ayaba went to London about the stage that he was staged to humiliate him in London about the oil deal. This is exactly what happened. This man went there for whatever he went there to do. I didn't know. Then when he realized that he has been staged by Ambazonians of the same mother, with the same womb, he became so frustrated. He stopped talking to me. But before that, he told me that you are going to collaborate and join the ADF, but you are going to keep your identity and your command structure, but you only respect the Geneva Convention. These were his words. Wow. He is still alive. He is there. He can testify. So we had this collaboration now at this time. And what made Dr. Akwanga also not to come into this collaboration? Remember the national lockdown that Dr. Ayaba announced on social media. Yes. So at this time, when I talked with Dr. Akwanga said, Dr. Ayaba made mention of this, but he said he would have waited for us to have this collaboration first before we go in for the lockdown. Right. I said, this is exactly what I've told Dr. Ayaba also. But since that he has made it, we should not say it is one-man show. We should all support the lockdown. I mobilized my boys. I told them, we are amber fighters. We are fighting for a common goal. Yeah, the decision didn't come up from us. It came up from somebody who is an ambassador who is fighting for this particular goal. We have to respect that deal. And we respected the deal, and we did a good job. It was a success. So at this time now, when Dr. Akwanga Ayaba was not talking to me due to the London incident for his personal reason that I don't know, up to now he hasn't explained to me, I was frustrated. I had nothing to do. So that's when I had to open the door for the ASC, so that you can get the rituals of everything that happened while you found me at the ASC. Then when I get into the ASC, one of the clutches that I gave to John Egawan and the chairman of the ASC is that before I be part of the ASC, ASC should be and it must be only for those that have farmers on GZ. It shouldn't be any political appointment or reconciliation in the struggle. What I'm telling you, I have it on record. This was what I said. But the response and what I got, I'll withhold it this part for some security reasons. Okay. The response of what I get was not good. And I said, because A tried, it doesn't mean B cannot try. There is always a word that try again. We fall because we didn't stand correctly. But when you fall down, you will learn the reason why you fall down. Right. Oh, no. Nobody wants to listen. And now I'm going to brief you something. Now, because they knew that I had a good relationship with ADF, what happened, like the Batibo incident, I mean, before the time that Bebe was arrested, I'm not talking about the Guzan incident. I'm talking about the Batibo incident that we, the ANC, attacked the ADF in Batibo. Like the Batibo, I had a meeting with Sika. I have the audio in the meeting. We were in the meeting together, talking, and they made me that I should calm down ADF, not to retaliate. We should look for a peaceful means to exchange these arms so that we can have a good way to work. I told them that now, listen, one thing that is killing Ambazona is that we are running away from the truth. From time memorial, Sikot, I'm telling you this is me, Barry is talking. Take it from me or you leave it. ADF started self-defense in Batibo. He said, no. I said, listen, I'm telling you first-hand information. The time that ADF started self-defense in Batibo, the first house that they knocked was my own brother's house. They knocked my brother and shoot my brother on the leg and took his arms. The principal of JHS Batibo. And when I got this information, I was so mad. I had to call Ivo and say, you have the guts to go into my house? I was so angry. And Ivo said, he didn't let that team. It was my classmate were in PHS together. They called him and Dawara. He was the one that led that team. So now I know the genesis of self-defense in Batibo because my own younger brother is in ADF. And he was the one that started it with General Ivo. When the time I told General Ivo that my younger brother is working with you, he asked, who is that? I gave him the name. He shouted. I said, really? He said, that is the person that we started this. We were just 5 of us at the time in Batibo. He was one of them. And this, my brother, is still alive. He can testify to you. If you want, I'll give you his contact. He will tell you. So at this time now, when I was telling Siko, I said, Siko, listen. So I told him in the dialogue that there is nothing that happened there that I don't know. So first, you people have made a mistake to have taken other people's soldier without following due concessions and respect. Protocols. So why I'm giving you this genesis is because sometimes people like us, it's not good to come on social media. When you are a custodian and a tradition of a particular shrine, it is good to stay behind. Because if you come on social media, you're going to make people know some evil. Right. So I had to start this. These are some mechanics that we've been doing from behind the scene. And today, the reason why you see me, I accepted to grant your interview is because I'm telling you that few days ago, no, that was about 5 months ago or 6 months ago, Eric Tato told me that I should put the names of my boys should be the sword of Meme. I smiled. I said, Eric Tato, listen, let me tell you something. I am Bear. And I'll talk to you. I'll hit my hand anywhere. You can quote me. Even the IG will tell you, nobody gives me money. I have a clean record, a very clean record at that matter. Nobody will tell you or will say, oh, I have given Bears money. Bear have it all. Nobody will even testify for that. Though I will not support tribal groups. You people are doing this because you feel that you want to paralyze. You want to paralyze others. You want to make others to feel not belong. I'm not going to, even if my council members are going to accept this proposal, I will not, because I'm not going to support this evil. Let me tell you, mark my words, this thing you people are doing today, it will lead to killings and fighting of our boys on Jesus. Because this boy will be saying that this is my zone, this is my territory, this is my place. And when they begin to say that, it means that they don't want you to come there. And so between themselves, they'll be fighting among themselves. We have to stop this evil. There are many ways we can do to prosecute these things without fighting among each other. But because they thought that, according to them, they thought I didn't like IG. But I love IG. Why? I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I love IG because it's a door that it can be identified by international organizations for us to solve our problems. But if this door is wrongly placed, we have to change the door and put a right door. So if I criticize you, Ivo, if I criticize any other person, it doesn't mean I don't like you. This is one thing some people fail to understand. It's because I want you to be what I want. And for the interest of the people. For this, I have been keeping a lot of things. So many people call me on my Twitter, but call me a lot of things. I told them that I will speak. And the time I will speak, Ambazona will know because I will speak with hardcore evidence. If I say hardcore evidence, I have it. Just we are on phone calls. If maybe it was direct viewer, I will show you a CPU that I bought to put everything on that disk. And even if you want, I will tell you everything. I'm not going to hide it because I have protect a particular interest to an extent that some people fail to understand that this boy is still protecting something. There will be a day I will speak. So the reason, these boys now, they have been having threat. About 3 of them called me that they have had threat from Meme County. I said, you see, this was exactly what I'm avoiding. I refused that there should be nothing like county by county. But when the pressure became so hard on me, and my council member also were giving me that pressure to accept Meme County, I had to accept it. When I accepted it, the ways at which they are going is out of control. You don't go to form a county and you're forming a defense council. Which militias do you want to form a defense council? Okay, now when I took it upon this, I said, let us readdress this issue so that we can have a good relationship on ways that we can work together. You go on and begin to threaten people. I have the evidence of the threat everywhere with me. I said, okay, no problem. If this is the way we want to go, then so be it. But listen, the day I will speak, the day I will speak, I will air out. Ambazona will cut into 2. Because I will speak with evidence, I will give them the evidence to listen, to hear and see, and I will let the boys free for them to call, and they will tell you. And you cannot be saying that you have a soldier on Jesus when you cannot even buy them 1 AK-47. They have been fighting for the past 2 years something.
So you mean all the My Trip to Boya, you lead the biggest and the highest and the largest military wing in the ASC, which is under the IG. And you guys raised about $1.3 million. To put it in the least term, $1.3 million. Some people estimate it to 1.8. That is about 900,000 francs CFA. Are you hereby telling us that the money raised by My Trip to Boya, you did not receive anything as the leader of the largest wing of the ASC?
It's a shame for this question because what I'm going to tell you now, maybe you're going to shock, and I'll tell you nothing but the truth. Okay. Though I'll have to keep some other aspect about it because I'm trying to still see the revolution. Right. Let me tell you, that was in June 2018. Right. When the boys they had the first attack in Menyenge. And I want to tell you, this attack in Menyenge was not made by the sort of Ambazona alone. It was a joint, well-calculated attack, and also with some machineries that we brought with ADF and Sukadev. Yes. It was a joint combined force, yeah. And the result was wonderful. Positive. Yes. The first attack ever in Menyenge. The result was wonderful. At this time, the IG contacted me through John Egawan. He said, Comrade Bear, we are going to give you $5,000. What is $5,000 going to do with what happened in Menyenge? You can imagine in that battle, we lost two boys, one from Sukadev and one from the sword. And also the missionaries that came there had a wound from the nose. I mean, his nose was cut off, and one person's legs also was cut off. $5,000 can that even cure for that medication? That was the first morning ever that I can talk about my Chutugwe. It's a shame. Wow. It's a shwam. But do you know what happened?
No.
They gave $2,000 instead of $5,000.
Oh.
Yeah. So I called General Divine. I said, hey, don't take that money. These people take us for fool. Send the money back to them. What I'm telling you now is something that I never wanted to say. Divine did exactly as I said. Now tell me, if you refuse to give money to these boys, what do you expect them to do? After promising them that you give them, they were going to do this attack, and they told you in 4 days' time, and you promised them that you give them 5K. Why can't you just fulfill the other bargain of your promise?
Wow.
Until I had to mount pressure, and I said, I will go out and speak. Then they sent the remaining 3,000. Who were you fooling? Ambazonians?
Wow.
I am so disappointed.
Wow. So
there are a lot of things I will not like to say because this is social media.
Yeah, let's just keep a lot of things. I always believe,
but
I believe we have to keep things secret.
We have an attitude of you know, give a dog a bad name
and hang it
because you want to kill the dog. I have decided to just take it down.
Yes.
And that was in June. I was so angry. So how much do you see now that the boys have had? 5,000.
5,000.
I'm coming. It came in August. After the minister attack in Sorobat, Ekombe. In that attack, because we already had some working relationship with ADF, Ivo was present, but he didn't go on the battle. He was present with Divine. Then they do the preparation. Divine called me and passed the phone to Ivo. I talked to Ivo. Ivo said, brother, to be sincere, you are one of the true people that I have ever met. I wish I should meet you and just shake your hand. Your boys all here are telling us what you're doing. Ivo said, I came with RGP, with the rocket launcher, and he came with about 500 agri-granite, 1,000 country
sticks.
And he came with 5 guys, but he's going to send just 2 for this mission.
Where?
I said, no, don't worry. I just need those materials. I had the plans already on the map. Where? Things to be taken care of. He gave those materials to us.
Where?
After the attack, the IG gave another $2,000. That money was sent directly to Divine. All this money that I'm telling you, this money was not sent to me as I'm talking to you.
Wow.
The money goes directly to Divine, and sometimes I'll send Spirito contact, they'll give it directly to Spirito. Or sometimes I'll send General Elvis, they'll give it directly to General Elvis of blessed memory that was killed by an ASC fighter.
Where?
Because of territory.
Where?
So, when this happened, I bleeded. They said that is 7,000 now. You're getting the money, how it is coming.
That's 7,000. 7,000 in about $1.3 million.
Yeah.
$7,000. Yeah. That's about just a paltry sum. Go on.
Okay. Now, it came in November, the month of early November. That's late October, early November.
That's about 4 months.
Because I'm looking now, the receipt are not here with me.
Right.
Because when they send the money, they send the receipt to me. Then I'll have to follow up.
Yes.
That money was sent out through swapping from America.
Yes.
For security, they gave that money. They gave was 1,000. The money that they said was for feeding was 1,000 at that time, $1,000. Then later on, I had a joint call from whether it's a finance whosoever, and also he put me along with Sako. He said they have decided to give me $2,000. I said they will. I said, that's what they have. That's what they have. I said, but why would you give me $2,000 when the ASC have said all the commanders should have $2,000 as feeding money? Why do you want to give this money to me? Which the money should have a letterhead so that I should be able to write it on my notebook, because I have to give an accountability of every one single franc. He said, no, just take the money. That is what they've decided. Then let me give somebody that will receive the money on GSEC. Okay. I called the person who is in charge for General Evis. He should receive the $2,000. I wrote it down. Then after the money, you've given the money, you would have gone your way. Do you know what happened?
No.
I'm going to shock you again. That's when he brought Sako into that call. And Sako came now. The complaint Sako was giving was that I should talk to Capo Daniel for interfering into the diplomatic meeting that they said they had about the day they were pronounced about Sahel, something like that. Yeah, I said, how did Sako, I asked him, how did Daniel intervene into it? Could you give me hard copy, a concrete evidence that I can use? The evidence he gave were nothing. You see? But I said, of course, we have seen this audio. Capo has made it very clear on social media that these things, these are not, give a hard, concrete evidence. Well, because I had to respect him. I see him as my president. I said, okay, I'm going to talk to Daniel. Daniel is going to tender an apology to you directly. Daniel respects me a lot.
Right. I know that.
Because he knows
I know that. Yep. I know.
Immediately, I decided to call Daniel privately. I said, no, I should not call him privately. It's going to let it be formal. I booked a Zoom meeting and I tabled the matter to our council. And I said, this is what our president has reached to us. And he is the commander-in-chief. So he has the right to reach to us in situations or circumstances like this. So we should not put it under the tire. We have to look into it. We had a meeting with Capo Daniel, and we told him that is our president. You must respect him. Now, what we are telling you, you must send a letter of apology to him. Capo Daniel, I said, he was trying to justify his whatsoever that he had. As humble as he was, he sent a letter of apology. And he sent the copy to me. And I said, put it on your wall, because that's where people go and fight your differences. He did that. And I talked to Kalesh. I said, Capo has sent a letter of apology. He said he's sorry for that. Kalesh said, what he told me is that it's of no use because the conference will not be held again. I said, but if you know it was not of no use, you shouldn't have met me. You came to solve a problem. I have solved the problem. Now you say it's of no use. What do you mean? I said, well, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of whatsoever. What you came for, I have done it already. And I want to believe that the money you paid, that was that $2,000 that you gave me, of which it was of no accountability. I have done it already. I called Capo Daniel and said, listen, you should stop going after individuals in Ambazonia. Go for La Republique. Capo Daniel said, comrade, I've heard you, and I'm sorry. Capo Daniel is alive. You can verify from him. He's going to tell you. So now, all in total, the money that the sort of Ambazonia have received is $9,000.
$9,000 in $1.3 million. Interesting.
That's the money that the sort of Ambazonia have received. And you can imagine the population of Bozara on GZ.
You mean
what is 4.5 million going to do? So sometimes I used to tell people that if the boys becomes this way, the first person to hold should be those that refuse to give them the money, not the boys.
Not the boys.
Because if I have a son and I cannot give the son a proper upbringing, I should be responsible for the son.
Right.
Yeah. So now, putting all this, are you satisfied with your question about asking me if I'm eating or I've chopped my chip to boya?
I'm very much satisfied. I'm not a person who pokes his nose into people's affairs, but I'm really worried how you can be leading the largest, I'm not mincing words here, the largest military force in the ASC, and you're being given.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how the leading is coming about. Of recent, I've had a lot of contributors people that know what is happening on GZ.
Right.
They know. They contact me, and what I tell them is that put this money direct to them because they can testify. That's why I'm giving you a fact finding. Yeah. Go and call, search, put my name, my picture on your Facebook and my number. Ask anybody if they have sent it, they'll tell you they have given the money to either Divine or Spirito or Godi or Deco or Joel in Nguti or Abokidu of blessed memory that was killed by the ASC. They will tell you they give this money to these people. I am. Money doesn't pass through my hand or through my account or through my relatives, but it goes to the boys. And also, I decided not to buy a pair of shoes. And the member of my council also have been doing tremendously because we have decided to tax ourselves. Every month, we must put in 200,000 francs.
Wow.
To support the boys. And that's, we've been doing this for the past 2 years. So you can imagine how we have dried our personal income.
I am carried away. This is the biggest ever words coming out from someone like you I've heard in a very long time. It is absolute sacrifice. It's the peak of sacrifice.
And also, sometimes I will get information from the generals. They will tell me that they have bought 23 packets of granite. They have bought about 2,000 agri granite. They have bought AK by themselves.
By themselves.
The first question I'll ask, you are a soldier. You don't have time to go and work. How do you get this money? They will tell me the villagers, the people
contributed.
Have contributed
money
and gave to them. And I ask, what are the models of giving? Is it through torture? Is it through extortion? And they will tell me, I said, listen, let me tell you something. I don't condone with this, but I know these are desperate measures. I know desperate
measures to survive.
But desperate measures. But listen, there is one thing that we call ICC. The ICC will come and look the identity of these individuals and call for the leadership of the individuals and ask questions. Though we know it's during war, but you have to respect
Geneva Convention.
The Geneva Convention that was taught to me by Ayabacho Lucas. You have to respect that. And if anybody that knows me, the person will tell you that I'm that kind of person that I don't support evil. I've attended security meetings of people planning to maybe hold some company and asking them to give money as tax. I'm one of those persons that will object such opinion. I said, no. If people want to do this, count me off. I'm not there.
Shortly before coming on air, I wrote on my Facebook page that I'll be interviewing you, the leader of the largest, most feared group on the ground zero, the Swords of Amazonia, which is the largest ASC group. And Ashu Kingsley, who happens to be of the ASC, wrote on his page that it's a fake, it's a hoax, and it's a scam. What do you have to say about that?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Come again.
Before coming on air today, shortly before announcing myself coming on air live on Facebook, I wrote on my page that we have entered into agreement with you, the leader, the largest defense group of the ASC, the one who is most feared of the ASC. We are coming into agreement with you because we've seen a common ground on which we can fight against the common enemy. But Ashu Kingsley came on his page to say it is a lie, it is a hoax, and it's a scam. What do you have to say about that?
That is his own personal assessment and expression. Before that, I had a private chat with Ashu Kingsley. He told me that he have gotten an audio message about the boys saying that they want to join an ASC. So I wrote to him, and I'm going to repeat. Excuse me, let me take from my phone, because I don't want to people to say I'm lying.
Yeah, paraphrase what you wrote to him and let us hear. Why he's searching for the message. Guys, this is the Ambazonia Defense Forces platform. We are here to tell you we've struck the biggest deal ever on the ground. There are 4 breaking news. We've just started with breaking news 1. The leader of the largest ASC group. Yep.
Yeah, this is Bear. What's happening?
That's Ashu Kingsley writing to you.
Did you join ADF?
That's Ashu Kingsley writing to you, right?
Yeah, that's the question. This question came to me at 9 o'clock, and I replied after an hour because at that time I wasn't on WhatsApp. I was having a meeting. I just had a closed door meeting today with the council members. I said, "Oh, this is something that people need to know. The boys on GZ aren't happy with the attitude of the IG and the county. Now they are forcing me to accept AGC, ADF."
Oh, so this is not coming from you. Okay, go on, please.
What do you think I can do? After I asked him this question, then I go into a little bit of explanation. When I made a decision to join ASC, I thought it was the right thing for us and the revolution. But it's a shock to see that the ASC leadership and the IG leadership seems to bring county by county stuff to bring politics and kill our boys on GZ. When we asked them to respect the MOU that was written from the ASC to the county by county, they turn around, give life-threatening, no need protecting the IG and the ASC anymore. I will simply think about their request and give them what they want. So when I gave this, it stayed about 1 hour. Ashu Kingsley brought me a screenshot about what you put on your face profile. I'm going to write what my reply to him again. You asked for a question. I just answered you, sir. You didn't say a word. But now, sending me a screenshot of Tapang, what do you want to hear? Even this one I recently sent to Ashu Kingsley, I had no feedback from him. But I'll tell you something. Some people in this life fail to understand one thing in life. It is not protecting a follower that makes you a revolutionist. I remember one thing that Jerry Rawlings said. He said, when a leader fails to know the story, to know his history, and he wants to change his history because he wants to uphold a particular position, that person is not fit to be a leader. Most Ambazonians, most people have failed to understand the story of independence and have failed to understand their story and what they have gone through and what they have suffered in this hand. All of us, everybody, there's nobody in southern Cameroon, both northwest and southwest, that can say it's not touched by the current circumstances. We have lost loved ones. We have lost property. Our family are suffering. This alone can correct you not to do wrong judgment anymore. But because we are afraid to lose a particular recognition or identification or position, we want to protect a particular interest. This is wrong.
So, Bill, just this question. You want to hereby say the decision you've taken as the leader of the largest military group on the ground to join the ADF, that decision comes from the ground and not you. They are your boys on the ground who are pressuring to join the ADF and not you taking that decision.
Okay, Mr. Ivo, give me 1 minute and I'm going to take you now to our council security meeting where you have all the generals and also all the commanders.
Okay.
And what I told them is that be still. We're going to have a meeting and we'll give you back your desire. Listen to this audio. Okay. And I heard that this audio is already out. I don't know. I've asked them who sent the audio out. Little do I, the person who sent it is a general, the general from Guti.
Okay.
Because he wanted this to happen.
Okay.
And listen to what they said.
I'm all ears.
Good evening, House. I greet all the leaders for Sword of Amber. I appreciate them for which way they don't do for we. Nami Commander Police for SWAT of Amber at the talk. With the behalf of all the generals and commanders in SWAT of Amber, we are very, very happy for what you people have been doing to us. Appreciate it. But one thing that is left, I say, we'll be very, very angry because we don't come to realize, say, if we not join to Ayaba, we na ADF, it no go better for we. And we, the commanders and generals, we don't shit down for Ground Zero. We don't see difficulties where they for Ground Zero when we don't get arms. It be worried. It worry we too much. So, I beg the council for SWAT of Amber, make the try, she done, because we don't discuss about this issue for back. But now the thing don't vex with too much. So, she done just a few months ago with General Spirito, Commandant Yo, Commander Kostrobu, General Divine, General Godi. We decide, say, now we could join ADF because ADF not the only do not the only talk for mob, but it do we see how we ADF it do for Ground Zero. All camps where it concern ADF is well equipped. So the earlier the better we join ADF for we forget arms, it could be good for we. So the plead for our leaders them for SWAT of Amber, may they rise up, they think for we for join ADF, the earlier the better. So all commanders, generals for SWAT of Amber, and the talk for the behalf of all them now. So we don't rise up for CC, we go join ADF for fight this fight. Thank you now.
Okay, that was the first audio he sent, and the second audio from another person.
Good evening for the house. Yes, we appreciate what we SWAT of Amber they don't do.
That's the second soldier supporting what he said.
Just recently do we thank you very much. But we talk now with anger for our heart. As I talk now for an announcer, I be very, very annoyed. In the sense, say, we don't discuss about this issue, say, we will join ADF since. I don't know what will be happen, or I no agree for this issue. But now, at the talk of the behalf of all the generals for SWAT of Amber, and the commanders for SWAT of Amber, say now we don't come to a compromise. Say now we must join ATF for fight this fight. Because with the fifth crisis, they would suffer on Ground Zero. Because of armed issue. People they talk kind thing. Because arms they know they. My brother, any man we know ATF, any camp, no if you talk lie, ATF get arms. ATF no they only talk for mob, but the proof. So for we for join ATF, the earlier the better. For we for fight the fight. And the talk behalf of all the generals and commanders for SWAT of Amber will be very annoyed for this issue. So they beg the leaders them for SWAT of Amber, may they try to realize some facts then when they happen for this fight. The earlier the better we join ATF, it could be best for we. Thank you now.
Okay, now I read my reply to this. Fellow countrymen, brothers and sisters in the revolution, accept greeting from Sissy Bear. I've heard your plea. I knew we had this before now. But the reason I couldn't accept the request was because I thought joining ASC, it will make ADF to also join the ASC. But a lot of things has been happening. Just like I said, even what we were expecting that the ASC is going to give us like materials, G-Nuts, and gun, they aren't giving it. And you all can testify. Apart of the $9,000 that they have given, no other money have come. But what the people have received is from our own personal pocket. We have spent not less than 25 million, but we are not regretting. We are still going to spend more than that. This is war. But rest assured, we're going to have a meeting, a closed-door meeting, and talk about it. And after the meeting, we'll still like to get to the ASC, and also we'll get to the ADF. Then within the couple of days, we'll give you the decision if we can join the ADF as you have requested, or we still maintain our stand with the ASC. Thank you. That's exactly what I said to them.
Excellent. I am tongue-tied. In fact, I have listened to you all through without interrupting you. The facts are beyond any kind of reasonable doubt. I want to say, and I want to say again, you as the leader of the largest defense group on the ground with the largest number of soldiers, may God continue to replenish your efforts. May God continue to show you the right path. It is always said in Pidgin and in English, no matter how far you've gone on the wrong road, it is not late to stop, go back and take the right road. You've taken the right path and we shall work together. As we've been discussing today, early this morning, we discussed we have to respect the Geneva Conventions. You and I, we've agreed that our groups will not touch any civilians, whether from our side or from La République du Cameroon side. Our fight is not against civilians. We shall attack and we shall destroy the terrorist regime of La République du Cameroon. We shall defend our women and children, and we shall respect all the international laws and respect the Geneva Conventions that guarantees we must protect prisoners of war, POWs. We must protect the wounded and sick civilians on land, on sea. We must protect all of them and treat them humanely in our camps without any discrimination. I would insist you've made a wonderful step forward to join the ADF. You're welcome. And as I promised, tomorrow we shall schedule an internal meeting between you, myself, the spokesperson of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, your own spokesperson, the head of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, Benedict Kwa, and the commander-in-chief, the leader of the Ambazonia Revolution, Dr. Cho Ayabas Lucas. So basically, we shall schedule this internal meeting. He will define the clear path on how we have to operate. And believe me or not, anything we have, we shall share equally. Your boys will be well armed to the teeth. We have one goal. We don't play politics. We don't call ourselves presidents and ministers. We have only one objective, to arm our boys to the teeth. You are part of our boys, and you shall be heavily armed. You shall remain the head of your organization. You are not changing your name from Sword of Ambazonia to any name. You will remain with your name and your identity and your brand. You shall lead your group with the code of conduct. We don't believe in accepting people into our camps to assimilate them. No, we believe in maintaining people's identities while fighting a common enemy. And that is what we shall do. I know it's already late for you back there, but thank you very much for coming. We shall keep communicating, and I shall touch base with your spokesperson of your defense group. We shall continue to lead the path forward towards eradicating colonialism in Africa, and particularly in Ambazonia. Thank you very much, Bell.
Okay, thank you. Hoping to see you on the joint meeting tomorrow. My regards to your team.
Thank you very much. And that is it. That is Bell. That is the first breaking news that is just coming from Ground Zero. And you've heard it from yourself. The largest defense group has now officially joined the ADF. And we thank Bell for that great intervention. My fellow Ambazonians, I will go to the next breaking news. As the spokesperson of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, I'm happy to announce to you that today, this particular day, and next week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the European Union has officially, I would say officially, invited us to be present at the EU headquarters, not sub-headquarters, the EU headquarters I don't know exactly where the headquarters is in Europe. So we'll be there because they officially tendered an invitation to us. We did not invite ourselves to be part of them. They said we should come and let them sit and discuss with us. I mean the Ambazonia Governing Council. I know I'm not a spokesperson of the Ambazonia Governing Council, but I've been authorized and given the permission to break to you this breaking news. It is wonderful news. So all the leaders will be there. Interestingly, we have also paid the flight of Capo Daniel, who would be in the EU head office, the EU headquarters, to broadcast on his platform what and everything that is going on. Capo Daniel, I want to thank you for honoring the AGC's invitation to witness for yourself as a neutral blogger and report to it without taking sides. So that is the breaking news. That is the second breaking news on this particular edition of the program. So the country that has invited us, of course, the name remains classified. I'm jumping now to the second news. It is an autonomous state of the EU, of the member of the EU countries. It is an autonomous state that has recognized us and has officially accepted to support us to eradicate any form of colonialism in Africa, to eradicate any form of inhumane treatment given to us by La République du Cameroun. So that autonomous state has officially accepted to sign and to partner with us. We'll be having 2 meetings. The first one will be at the EU. It's not the EU Parliament that invited us, contrary to reports from Bo Herbert and the rest. No, it is the EU that has invited us, and an organ of the EU, I'm insisting here, an organ, an organization of the EU. That means the EU has several organizations. So one of the organs has invited us to officially sit with them at the EU Parliament, the EU itself, the head office of the EU, to talk about Ambazonia, to chart a way forward, how we can get our independence. And that is because they recognized we have the largest armed groups on the ground. No one goes for bargaining with empty pockets. International politics is backed by a military. If you don't have a military, no one looks at you and takes you serious. And that is why we thank them for recognizing the Ambazonia Governing Council and recognizing that the Ambazonia Governing Council has a formidable arm called the Ambazonia Defense Forces. I will not be there because I'm the part of the Defense Forces. The Governing Council will be there because it's going to represent and speak on behalf of all the Amazonians. The very last breaking news comes from the United States, where I am. The U.S. Department of State, you can call it the U.S. Department or State Department, has officially invited the Ambazonia Governing Council to sit with them in 2 key states. 1, New York, and 2, Washington, D.C. I repeat, the U.S. Department of State has officially sent an invitation to the Ambazonia Governing Council to sit with them and tell and speak out and tell them exactly what is happening in Ambazonia and what we need, what is our cry. The U.S. Department of State, for the first time in history, has officially tendered a letter of invitation to us, requesting that we should meet early in April, the first week of April. I made an announcement on my page announcing that it is this month. No, I was corrected. That is on the first week of April. So what is happening next week, this month, would be in EU. The first week of April, we are sitting down with the U.S. Department of State, which is the biggest department of the U.S. government, to discuss with them on a tete-a-tete. Just like you saw the U.S. discussing with Paul Biya, we are discussing with the U.S. Department of State. I will not be there. The leader of the Ambazonia Revolution, Dr. Choa Yabas Lucas, and his delegated members, or whosoever they delegate, will be there to discuss and put forth our contenderhood. That is the biggest news we've had so far in this revolution. We are not here to present to you Sawawari. We are not here to present to you countries that don't exist. We are not here to be fighting for Arabs in Northern Africa, in the Arab Maghreb Union. We are here to fight for the West Africans, Ambazonians. And that is exactly the announcement I am bringing to you. Guys, we've armed ourselves and we've made ourselves a contender. Those breaking news should tell you exactly who the AGC is, the Ambazonia Governing Authority, and the ADF, the Ambazonia Defense Forces. We have integrity. We don't meddle on Facebook and to be playing politics on the social media. We don't care about likes and loves. We don't care about who shares our post or not. We care about making ourselves a contender through strategy on the ground. We believe those who are following us internationally are all international actors. They are following the Tapangs and the Ayabas because of the knowledge that we spill out. We broadcast in pure English to target the international audience. We don't broadcast in pidgin. And even if we make broadcasts in pidgin, we translate those broadcasts into English. Other bloggers are good at speaking pidgin and not English. And so they target the local people to bribe and corrupt them. We are speaking in English because we've taken this revolution to the highest level. The very last announcement, on the 2nd of April, 2019, I, Tapang Ivo Tanku, would be role-played in King's University College in London. So 3 African leaders have been selected to be role-played in King's University College of London, one of the biggest universities in the world. 1, Paul Biya Bartholomew Beamvonder of La République du Cameroun. 2, Kamto Morris of MRC, who is currently in jail right now. And 3, Tapang Ivo Tanku of Ambazonia. I don't know for whatever reason they selected me, but maybe because they see me as that young, influential African leader. I've never considered myself as an African leader. I have always thought my actions are just basically to promote the ideals of good governance, democracy, the rule of law, and self-determination. In addition, self-defense. And that is the biggest news. If you are in London, please just drive over there to King's College University. As the days go by, I will give you the number you can call and they'll tell you the exact hall where I will be role-played. So 3 African leaders would be role-played. Paul Biya Bartholomew Beamvonder of La République du Cameroun, Maurice Kamto of MRC, the opposition leader, and Tapang Ivo Tanku, who happens to be me. So I'm grateful for that great news. Guys, keep the steam. Arm yourselves to the teeth. We have a strong cause to lead. Don't look at what leaders have failed you. Look at what other leaders have to give you as solutions. The Ayabas are the greatest leaders we have right now. They have never insulted anyone on their platforms. You've heard them. You've heard others giving testimonies of who this guy is. You can call Ayaba if you think you cannot comment on his post. Ask me, I'll give you his number. Call him and speak with him. You will be embarrassed that he's the most humble person you've ever met. Don't hearsay. Do it yourself and call him and speak with him. Keep arming those guys on ground zero. All the international laws work for us. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948 clearly works for us. Article 19 states we have a right to freedom of expression, and that is why we're expressing ourselves. Article 20 says we have the right to freedom of association and peaceful assembly, and that is why we're expressing ourselves here, associating ourselves. Article 2 states we have the right to self-determination. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights 1966 and its 2 additional protocols also states that we have a right to freedom of participation, political participation and civil rights. And that is backed by the economic community, what they call the ECOSOC, the Economic, Cultural and Social Affairs Rights of 1966 as well. The Rome Statute of 2002 clearly states that we can pressure La République du Cameroun and petition them to be dragged to the International Criminal Court. And that is exactly what we are doing. We shall drag them to the International Criminal Court because what they are doing in southern Cameroon, our territory, is completely against international law. Under 3 conditions can we drag these criminal rogue states to international courts. Number 1, on grounds of genocide. Number 2, on grounds of crimes against humanity. And number 3, gross violation of human rights. Those are the 3 channels on which you can drag any country to the International Criminal Court. Cameroon is guilty of that. We are clearly backed by the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Article 24 clearly states we have a right to self-determination. We are clearly backed by the Arab Covenant on Human Rights. They clearly also state we have the right to self-determination. All the international tenets are working for us. And above all, the 1945 UN Charter, Chapter 7, clearly states we have a right to defend ourselves. Self-defense is a right. No one should fool you. Buy the guns, buy the bullets, and arm yourselves to the teeth. My name is TAPANG IVO. Stay blessed, and let us keep this team afloat. Bye-bye.